Good morning, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your trip in the archipelago last night and that you had a good night's sleep. It's hard, actually, I think, to believe that we already reached the final day of the conference. And it seemed to me like it was just moments ago that we saw Peter Elmlund standing here welcoming us to this quite amazing conference, I would say. I have been struck by the high quality of the presentations and the discussions and the engagement we have seen. Very stimulating presentations such as, for example, Saskia Sassen and Richard Sennett and many others. I have listened with great interest to this. So now, we in the drafting committee thought it would be useful even today to give you an overview of what we have done. And we've been working, I would like to say, in 3 parallel processes. First, we have tried to collect and compile all comments for the policy documents that have been discussed in the constituent groups. And secondly, we have tried to strengthen the key messages that arose of the last Future Places in Buenos Aires, as well as bringing in new content from this conference. And thirdly, we have looked at a redraft of Future Places inputs to the Urban Thinkers Campus, Public Space for the City We Need document. So let me say a few words about each of these 3 sort of processes we have tried to follow in the drafting committee. It's quite an impossible job, I would say, to get all this together. And it's not possible to finish this today. It will be an evolving process, it will continue, and I will provide you with some possibilities for you all to come back with your comments and send them to us. So in the first process, we have about the compiling of all previous documents and getting comments from the constituent groups. We have received a lot of feedback and inputs to strengthen the policy papers. So we haven't been able to keep up. Instead, we've set much of this aside so that we can give careful attention in the weeks to come. So don't worry, you'll have a chance to come back if you don't see your comments. But we will publish things on the website, and I will also give you an email address which you can use where you can send your comments. In the second process, we have looked at the key messages of Future Places. And based on the discussions here, we have made some changes. Observations, and we are still working on that document. I have a meeting after this meeting now in the morning with the rest of the colleagues in the drafting committee, and we will go through that and see how we can get out a full document and present it online. The third one is that we have been very busy compiling this content in the form of principles, policy, and solutions into the Urban Thinkers Campus, the City We Need document. We are now calling this Public Space for the City We Need. We'll be handing this over to the World Urban Campaign team this afternoon, but we'll be sure to share our formulations with you during the Summary of Campus Outcomes session at the end of the day here. There's still, as I already said, a lot of work to be done, but for now I will direct your attention to the key messages that we have at this moment reached an agreement on in the drafting committee. So I'll just quickly read out the headlines of the key messages to give you a general overview of each message. People-centered approach to planning is the first one. Second, inclusive space for all, particularly vulnerable groups. Third, public space that respect human scale and behavior. Fourth, a city-wide network, connected streets and public spaces. Fifth, economic productivity of public space. 6, access to public space, private and private spheres. And 7, sustainable public spaces that are healthy, safe, resilient, energy conserving, and resource efficient. 8 is culture and context of public space. So please note that we're still crafting the specific text that will fit under each message, and that we're also working on action and implementation points. This was an issue I raised yesterday for us to discuss in the constituent groups, and at least the group I participated in, a number of very useful proposals came forward, which we've tried to integrate into these points, which you will see when we present all this on the website. I would like to summarize this by saying that this process is far from over. We'll continue to encourage your feedback and contributions during the remainder of this conference and in the weeks to follow. We'll give you a month or so, or a couple of weeks. I don't know what Kyle will say about it. He's handling all this. And to make sure that they reflect the interests of the participants of all these conferences, Future Places 1, 2, and 3. I encourage you all to continue your hard work and finish the Future of Places on a high note. Enjoy the remaining sessions, and we'll see you all here at 12:30 for the summary of campus outcomes. Have you shown on the screen the email address? Yes, there it is. That's the one you can use when you provide your comments to us. So we look forward to keeping in touch. Thank you very much for now.